Good morning, everybody. This is Dr. Charles Dent with your Monday morning coffee. Today is Labor Day, and I hope everybody's enjoying their time off. If you're off, enjoy it. I know some people who are in the hospital working in an area. Hey, stay safe and make the best of it. I know last week I talked about people getting the shot. Thank you guys for your comments and everything you made. I know it's been tough for a lot of us, but how many times we're seeing people die because of the COVID. Like I remember one time my mom said this to me, people are dying, but then she said, but these people now, we know these people who are dying. So, take care of yourself, wear your mask when you have to, do what's necessary to protect you and your family and those around you. And I want to continue to do this because I promised you I was going to stick with this and I was going to be consistent and teaching you some things about building pillars of success in your life. I mean, last week we talked about success is a combination of different elements that must come together in a very specific way. So keep that in mind. Success requires a combination of different elements that must come together in a very significant way. And so I told you about this. I talked about number one, removing limited to belief, adopting new habits and routine. The 13, using the resource you have. SWOT, the strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. We're going to be dealing with that. Take charge of your mind and your emotions. Motivate yourself. Find ways to do so. Because, and when we start talking about it, that's number 6. When we start talking about that pillar, you have to know how to motivate yourself. You got to stop waiting on someone else to do that. Number 7 is set goals. Number 8 is cultivate a winning attitude. And we're going to continue to talk about those things. And we will continue to show you that there are different things you have to do to be successful. Now, and I'm going to give you all the pillars. Did I tell you there's 8 or did I tell you there's 10? There's 8. All right. So today we're going to talk about removing limiting beliefs. I think about this a lot. Removing limited belief. Here's how we create beliefs. Information that we come in agreement create our belief system. So first you got to gather information and then you have to come in agreement with it. That's what creates your belief system. You'll hear a lot of people say, yeah, but that means that I'm not in agreement with what you're saying in order to create a belief. So that's what you got to do. First thing to do is gather the right information. I mean, look around you and think about if I'm going to remove limiting beliefs, I need to gather the right information. Write that down, gather the right information. The second thing I got to do is this. I need to identify these limiting beliefs. I need to identify them, like how you think, labels that you have put on yourself, labels you have allowed others to put on you, like you're lazy, unreliable, you're untrustworthy, you're worthless, you shy. You got to understand this because it's how you think. If I'm thinking I'm lazy, I can't get in there, drive, anything, that is limiting beliefs. So you got to see that. That's the thing you got to do. I got to identify these limiting beliefs because it is critical you know what you believe about yourself. That is important. What is it that you believe about yourself? The third thing is look at these labels that trigger a certain chain reactions of behavior. Like since I'm lazy, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to try anything. So you got to look at it creates a chain reaction to certain behavior. So I don't even attempt to do anything. So I don't even try to do anything because the fact is I have put this label on myself. The fourth thing is I got to identify these beliefs. I got to identify these beliefs. Now, let's write them down. Identify your belief around your work and careers. It's just a job. It pays the bills. That's how a lot of people think when they go to work. It's a job and it pays the bill. And so what happened to you in that situation, you're going to limit it how you can get the max out of your career, out of your work, because you say it's just a job. And you're going to just do enough as describing your job description. And you're not going to be a game changer. You're going to maintain those limited beliefs. The other thing is surrounding your health. What are the beliefs you have around your health? Your health is your wealth, people say. Now, what are the beliefs you have around it? I mean, you have to take care of your temple. You got to learn how to exercise, but you got beliefs around that. The third area is relationships. You have beliefs around relationship. Oh, I can never find the right person. I can always get in these bad relationships. It's because of your limiting beliefs surrounding them. I'm never going to get in another relationship again because I've been hurt by the last one. And so you have limiting beliefs and you're going to continue to live with that. What about learning and development? I'm too old to learn. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. So you have put limiting beliefs on what you can learn and how you can grow. And I know that because, like older people oh, don't try to teach them nothing. But man, you should never stop growing. You should never stop learning. But you have put limited beliefs on your learning and your development. What about as a parent or as a partner? When my wife and I do parenting class, one of the things I'm trying to teach parents is how to shift from being an authoritative person over the lives of their teenager. Because, your teenagers got their own little mind. And what is difficult sometimes for parents is to respect the fact that their teenager is a teenager and they're growing up. So how do you start getting away from being the authoritative person over their lives to being a coach in their lives? To look at your parenting skills. You say, hey, because you can have limited beliefs about your parenting skills. You can say, just do what I tell you to do. Sit down. Don't ask me all these questions because you have limiting beliefs. But what about as a partner? You're a partner in your relationship because partners do their part. And when you do your part, you feel a part. But you can have limiting beliefs in that partnership that she's going to do all the work, he's going to do all the work. Or you don't have partners. And you have to find yourself some partners that you can network with to get the things that you want to accomplish in your life. You have to be able to understand that, but you got to do that. Then the next one is this, personal success. Now, I know this key word. If you add value to yourself, you add value to your company. You have value to other people around you. But you got to have your own personal success. But if you don't sit down long enough and look at what are my limiting beliefs around my own personal success. And the last one is this, life in general. Well, a couple more. Life in general. Life in general. Just looking at life itself. Man, if it ain't one thing, it's another. Because you have limiting beliefs. Man, I can never get ahead. You got limiting beliefs. So that leads me to the next one, money. I'm always broke. I don't have enough. Well, it's because you have put limiting beliefs about it. You don't see that the God that you serve, the God of Jesus Christ, is a God of abundance. Jesus said, I come to give you life and life more abundantly. You can have limiting beliefs around your money because you have limiting beliefs around your relationship with God and your spirituality. So I'm going to give you this exercise. The exercise is to sit down, write out all that you heard, and then do a 30 to 60 minute exercise to see how did you form these limiting beliefs and how did you do this? Look at it, spend the time, say, I'm going to spend some time around these areas and see how I have limited myself and limited people around me because of these beliefs. So how do I overcome them? How do I overcome them? And I'm going to give you some steps. And I think these are critical steps to overcoming them. And then I'm going to walk you through a process of this. I think the first thing you need to do is question the origin of every belief. I think you need to question, where did it come from? I mean, if it's your working career, is it your health, your relationship, you can look at, where did I get this from? Where did I start adopting this belief? Because remember, belief is the information you receive plus your agreement. When you come in agreement with it, you start to believe it. So where did I get this information from? Where did I get this limiting beliefs from? I think you need to identify the origin. Did it come from my parents? Did it come from the influence of people around me? Did it come from people I work with? Did it come from, my teachers, my preacher, or whatever it is? Where did I get these limiting beliefs from? I think you need to identify the origin of where they come from. I think this is the part where you have to trace it back and see, where did I get it from? It reminds me of the story with the woman who always cut the end of her roast. And she cut it and put it in a pan. And then I remember one time her husband asked the question, why are you doing that? She said, I don't know. I saw my mama doing it. So he said, let's call your mama. They called her mama. She said, I don't know. I saw my mama do it. So she called her grandmama. She said, Grandma, why you do it this way? She said, because I never had a pan big enough at that time. I had to cut the ends to put it into the pan. We sometimes do things repetitiously and not know why. We don't know the origin of them. So I got to go back and trace the origin of it. The second thing is I need to learn how to change the language of each belief. I got to change the language because I notice how we speak certain things out of our mouth is the result of what we store in our heart. It's the result of the origin of where we got it from. So you can look at limiting beliefs because you got to go back to the place and find out where you get from. And then look at the language that you speak about each thing. Man, my work is so hard and everything in this nature. I can never get in good relationship. I ain't never got enough money. And so what happened, you got to start changing the language. We will talk about that in a minute. But got to look at the language that you have surrounding each belief. The third thing is this, is respond to them. See, a lot of times what we are doing, we're reacting to the situations in life. And we don't know how to respond to it. With love, with grace, with gratitude, we don't know how to respond to it. We are reactional beings. And we react to a lot of things that are happening. It's because this whole attitude of playing the victim, I'm always, it's always somebody else's fault. Because I want to show you this, because that leads to the next one. And when you're going to overcome them, you have to take responsibility for your life. You have to take responsibility. Say, you know what? I'm responsible for these beliefs. I'm responsible for what I allow in my life. So I got to deal with it. I got to take responsibility. So that is the fourth thing about this. The fifth thing is this. I got to identify the negative long-term consequences of each one. What are the negative long-term consequences of always talking about, I can never do this. I can never get enough money. I can never have a good job. What is the long-term negative consequences of each? And so if you write them down and you spend time writing it down, it'll change your life. But this is one exercise you have to understand. This is one pillar that's very important. So let me give you a quick 10 things that I think was going to benefit you to make it better for you. Here's the thing. Number one, you have to do this. Please write this. Number one is this. I got to take charge of my life. That is so critical. The first thing about getting rid of these negative beliefs, these limiting beliefs, is I got to take charge of my life. Number two, my failures are not final. My failures have become a lesson, a lifelong lesson. I can learn something in my failures. Number one, take charge of your life. Number two, look at your failures as lessons that you can learn. And John Kilpatrick says this. He says, let's fail fast so we can get up from it. And a lot of times, look at your failures and don't stay there. Get up from it. The third thing is this. Setbacks can be set up for you for greatness. Look at the setbacks in your life and start changing the language. Say, I've been set up for greatness. That becomes important to you because now you can say, I can become the better version, the best version of myself. But these setbacks become a setup for me so I can become the best version of myself. The fourth thing is, I don't need other people's approval to succeed. Now, I'm going to tell you something. That is a very strong one. You don't need somebody else's approval for you can succeed. You don't need somebody else's approval to remove these negative limiting beliefs over your life. You don't need anyone else's approval. Take charge of your life. The fifth thing is this. I have what I need to succeed. You have all the tools you need to succeed. And if you don't have them, this is one reason why I think it's very important for you to grow in this. Because if you had a life coach or somebody you can meet with on a regular basis to help you through all of this, man, it's a powerful thing that you are investing in yourself. The sixth thing is this. Every day is another chance to turn my situation around. Every day is another chance to turn my situation around. See, you got another day today to turn your situation around. Today is the day. I'm going to turn my situation around. I don't care if it's your finance. I don't care if it's your walk with God. I don't care what it is with people, person, your partners, whoever, your children. You could say today is another chance to turn my life around, to turn my situation around. You can do it today. That's number 6. Number 7 is every mistake is an opportunity to learn and grow. Because we make choices every day. You make a decision every day. You make a decision to listen to this. You make a decision not to. You make a decision to keep the limiting beliefs on you, or you're going to deal with them and you're going to do something about them. The eighth thing is this: I can make tomorrow better today. I can make my tomorrow better today because I'm going to start taking action today. And that leads me to the ninth one. There are many opportunities waiting on me to take massive action. There's many opportunities waiting on me to take massive action. See, there are opportunities right now. I got to take action. You got to stop waiting for the opportunity to come knock on your door. You go make it happen for yourself. And that's what I see a lot of people sitting around. They waiting on somebody to knock on the door for them. Let me tell you something. Get up from where you are. Go make the opportunity happen for you. And here's the 10th thing. Hard work leads to smart work. Please hear me again. Hard work leads to smart work. Put forth effort today and say, hey, I'm going to deal with these limiting beliefs that I have in my life where other people have put them in, because here's the thing about it. Because I need to learn how to persevere through difficult times. That's when you take hard work become smart work, because you're going to learn to persevere through difficult times. Listen, I pray that you listen to this, listen to it again, go over it again. You might want to listen to it more than one time and overcome these limiting negative beliefs that you have put on yourself or other people have put on you, and you had to come in agreement with them. This is Dr. Charles Denton with your Monday Morning Coffee.